Hey folks, Anthony Special here with Big Energy Profits. Now, I want to take an opportunity to shoot this quick video for you. And I know some of the numbers that are on the side of this chart here appear intimidating. Now, listen, this is here because this is my track record, because I'm here to show you the honest truth of how this is done. I'm not here to sell you something, I'm here to give you the raw ability to understand just how it is we create wealth here in the market at Big Energy Profits. Now, I'm going to just put this chart aside for a moment. What I want to do is run through a very, very simple exercise. And I want to show you just how this works over the big picture. Here in my hand, I have $600. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This we're going to use as our trading capital. This is for an example purposes here. 600 bucks. So every time we take a trade, this is the capital we're going to use to take the trade. So when we average out our trades, wins and losses, we get to a certain number that we are averaging per trade. Now with 10 contracts, which is the intimidating numbers on the other side of the screen here, it would be about $33,000 per trade averaged out as profit. Now, for example purposes, we're not worried about all the zeros. We're just going to focus on the simple stuff here because it really is this simple. And I don't want you to be intimidated by the numbers because most people get intimidated very quickly and there's no need to be. So, 600 bucks, this is our investment capital for each trade. Now, every time I take a trade, I'm going to add 300 bucks into my retained profit, meaning my average profit from each trade is going to be about 300 bucks. So that's trade number 1, trade number 2, trade number 3, trade number 4, trade number 5, trade number 6, trade number 7, trade number 8, trade number 9, trade number 10, trade number 11, trade number 12, trade number 13. So, I used this small pile, 600 bucks for each trade, and I still used the same money over and over again. This money never went anywhere. It stayed in my trading account as operating capital. This was the money I used to enter the trade. This bit of money I used leveraged into 13 trades turned into this. Now, I never lost my investment capital. I still have that. This was just the money I used. But my average trade returns added up to look like this. Now, guys, it doesn't matter if you're trading with one contract. It doesn't matter if you're trading at the scale I am with 10 contracts. You could be trading with 100 contracts. You could be trading with a micro contract. You could be doing this following with options on the futures market. You could be doing this with ETFs. Now listen, of course, to get the closest thing to the results that I'm getting, following me as close as possible is, of course, the most ideal way. With that being said, if you could afford to just trade one contract, that $432,600 profit for me would have yielded you $43,260. Now, for most of you, that's a lot of money. For me, that's a lot of money. For anybody, $40,000 is a lot of money. Now, I don't want to belittle that in any fashion. I did this simply by showing you my money I used, and here's about 4,300 bucks. So I just simplified this by removing another zero. Okay? Sometimes when we see cash, it makes it real. Often when we see numbers on a screen, we forget what it is we're actually doing. But when we see how we took this little bit amount of money and we turned it into this large amount of money, it just kind of exemplifies the reality of what it is we're here to achieve. So, I simplified this not because I think you can't understand the larger numbers, But because it really does break down to just dollars and cents, it really does break down to turning $600 into $4,300. It's no different than turning $6,000 into $43,000, or turning $60,000 into $432,000. It's the same return on investment. It's the same ROI percentage. The piles just change based on your ability to leverage. So, if you made an extra $40,000 this year and an extra $40,000 next year, maybe next year you would trade with 2 contracts, or maybe you would trade with 3. And then the year after, maybe you would trade with 4 or 5. And the year after, you may trade with 6 or 7. And the year after, you may trade with 9 or 10. Listen, I have built Big Energy Profits for the long haul. I didn't build this out so you can get rich quick. I built this out so, like I have for myself, you too can build sustainable, long-term, passive producing wealth. Guys, this is like collecting rent. Every month, I know I can draw X amount of money out of my trading account because every month, on average, I am producing X amount of money. Historically, I can produce X amount of money every month. So that means historically, I can withdraw X amount every other month and never deplete my trading capital. There's no reason for it. There really isn't. And really, if I made all this, I probably only need to take this and leave this in the pile. That is the way to do this. So if you made $40,000 this year, and you made $80,000 next year trading 2 contracts, and you made $160,000 the following year trading 4 contracts. Listen, I can't guarantee that it'll be the same number. It could be higher, it could be lower. But I do know historically over the past decade, it is a 6-figure plus a year income. How do I know? Because I've been making it for myself and my family. And that's what I've come here to do for you. I've come here to bring this to the table for you. Listen, is this the only thing you should do for the rest of your life? No. You should be diversified. You should look for other opportunities to also create income. But this is a passive manner for you to create wealth. It is one avenue. Most of us have multiple streams of income. Listen, I don't suggest quitting your job. I don't suggest selling your rental property. But I do suggest giving it a long and have a real thought process about adding a service like Big Energy Profits to building your future. So that you can go like this and start with $600 and in a period of time have $4,300, or start with $6,000 and go to $43,000, or start with $60,000 and go to $430,000. It doesn't matter how many zeros you have to work with. What matters is that you take the initiative to do it, that you follow the system, and that over time the passive money will come. Some people really love to trade a lot. I don't. Why should I trade a lot when I can trade a little and make a lot? That's the objective. This whole methodology I have built around passive trading for massive income. Passive, because I don't do it frequently, and I only invest a little bit of money to start. Massive, because as it produces for me over time, I make a lot of money. This is the ratio. It's huge. There's a big difference. And this is just playing with $100 bills. So I encourage you. I implore you. I invite you to watch my training webinar. Guys, I know it's a little lengthy. I know it's going to cut out about 45 minutes of your time. But if you are looking for a consistent avenue to build long-term wealth with, if you are looking for a systematic approach to the market in a unique sector that I specialize only in, then I invite you to become part of the Big Energy Profits family. All you have to do is take it slow. Follow my lead. You're going to see me take my trades as I take them. You can follow along with them in whatever fashion you want. When I tell you I'm taking a futures market trade, I also tell you how I would take that trade in the options market. I also tell you how I would take that trade utilizing an ETF. So I am really covering all bases. So wherever you are comfortable, if in fact you believe that you should follow what I'm doing, the opportunity is of course there for you to take advantage of. Guys, with that, I want to wish you a beautiful day, a blessed day, a profitable day, and I encourage you, I invite you, I implore you to do this not for me, but to do it for yourself. Big energy profits could potentially be a fantastic stream of income for you moving forward. For you, for your family, for your spouse, for your children, for your grandchildren. This can add a piece to your legacy. It has for me, and that is why I've spent all this time and effort building it out for you. Have a beautiful day, and God bless. Take care.